It was through Woza's willingness to work with us and through Woza's vision that South African music and South African theatre was to be launched in the United States in the 80s in the manner which it was launched. I think the work that we did put a different spin on the arts and culture of South Africa. Woza and myself then went on to establish a relationship with the Lincoln Center Theatre, and we started bringing plays and theatre from South Africa through that relationship, which created a platform for the theatre and for the music.
There was no news really coming out of South Africa at that time, and the play was the first time I certainly had met any black South Africans, because at that point South African theatre was all Fugard. And the response from the audience was so powerful that it almost felt like we just had a sort of tiger by the tail. All of a sudden we were being reviewed by people downtown. People were starting to pay attention to what we were doing. The communities from all over were coming uptown to see like what was this experience. And so the Township Theater experience kind of really changed my world, because you know they can't even publish a script in those days because they would have to turn it over to the government for approval. So they would rehearse for like a year with no script until everybody just had everything down pat.
Duma then took Phyllis and myself and Andre down to the Lucille Luttel Theater to see this play called Woza Albert. And our lives were changed. We had never seen theater like we saw down there. We were introduced to the two actors, and we told them, you gotta come uptown. We got a 99-seat theater on Lenox Avenue on 125th Street, and that's where you guys should come. The New York Times wrote an article about that transition of a play from Johannesburg, South Africa, in the townships, to the village, to Harlem, and the rest is history, because when those two actors came to Harlem, they were possessed. They actually thought they were at home, and we could not contain the audiences in terms of our capacity. So now you had New Heritage Theater Group and committed artists working very closely together to bring the work from South Africa to the United States. A wonderful relationship that lasted for about 15 years.
Africa.